go through my planners from when I started planning and keeping the planners until today, and kind of show how my planning has changed over the years. So I'm going to put this stack away and just go from the beginning till now. So I was always a planner. Even in high school, I planned in a cheap Walmart or Target planner. So I don't have any of those, but the first one I kept was this passion planner. So this is a passion planner from 2015, when they just had the big size. And what I did first to make sure that I wanted to use it and spend the money was I printed out the printables that they had on their website, and did this for several months while I was debating whether or not I wanted to buy it. So my planning kind of looked like this. This was when I was planning on moving to do my PhD, and as you can see, it's mainly paper and well, it's paper, but it's mainly a pen and highlighter, occasionally different colors of pens. That's kind of how I organize things. And then eventually, once, like you can see, I did several of these. And then once I decided, okay, yes, I definitely wanted to stay in the passion planner, I bought one. At this point, like I say, they were kind of just in this big size and only the black cover. And I didn't make full use of the goal. I have a lot of spots for goal planning and reviewing your goals, and I didn't use that as often as I would in coming years. But mainly I have a page tagged here as a kind of an example of the way in which I use this planner. Again, as you can see, it's mainly pen, highlighter, occasionally a different color pen. There are no stickers, no nothing that I would come to use in the more recent planners. So I really liked this for what I was using it for. I really enjoyed the kind of vertical layout, the hour time, but I thought that this was, you know, a little bit too big. So what I went to from then was the smaller passion planners. So I went to this small, for 2016-17, went to this small version of the passion planner. This was, I think, the beginning of when they came out with the 3 different sizes. I also, as you can see, started to tab off months with post-it notes. So again, not what I would come to use now. But this is interesting because I did start to tape in a habit tracker. Down at the bottom in the space of infinite possibility, I would tape in, I think I printed this off of their website, and then just would tape it in. Again, you can see I'm using a couple of different kinds of ink, you know, just kind of scribbling. It wasn't, certainly not something to be pretty, not something that I was going to be showing on the internet in the future, but this is how I kind of, you can see examples here of how I kind of used it. Post-it notes. Again, you can see I haven't been keeping up with the monthly reflection. And then in the back they have a whole bunch, I'm not going to show, they have a whole bunch of blank pages that you can use for scratch paper, for notes, what have you. And mainly that was kind of a messy messy section for me. I did start getting into the more decorative passion planners. This one is from 2017 to 2018. Again, I've put in my own tabs, again with post-it notes. Still have not been using the monthly reflections and have not really done much in terms of stickers. I'm doing a lot more with the different color pens and highlighters, as you can see here. I think toward the end of this planner, I started to experiment with some stickers. This was it's kind of funny to look at it now. This is very rudimentary beginning of stickers. They were just kind of little decorative kind of highlights, but this did start my kind of interest in stickers and sticker kits. I think at this point there weren't a lot of sticker kits out there for a passion planner, but I was interested in that, and I know there were a couple of them out there, but they were mainly American and that were doing sticker kits for the passion planner. Although I stuck in that size for 2 years, I did think that I wanted to get a little bit bigger. So this is the medium size. They had different names for them, but I can't remember. And I did order tabs from a sticker company. I can't remember who they were. It's a long time ago. This was from 2018 to 2019. At that time, I was really doing the academic planner because I was in school and that made sense. Mostly now I do the yearly planner. So this is another example of me using a variety of different colored pens. I tried to make it look a little bit nice. But this was largely for me anyway, so there were times, like the weekend, for example, I like having them together because I kind of just cobbled all my to-do list into one. As you can see, there's not many stickers. Even as I begin this planner, there's not much to look at. But by the end of the planner, I was definitely had discovered, as you can see, I can washi tape. I had discovered the Happy Planner stickers, so that's what these are here, and these ones. I think this is from Chelsea Brown Designs. She was doing stickers for the Passion Planner. I know she has her own planner company now, but I think she still does stickers for the Passion Planner. And then just kind of I started using black ink, started recording what I was watching on television, just using some more of the things that I'll see in my planners coming up. So having delved into the world of, I guess, more high-end planners with the Passion Planner, I had seen advertisements for and people using Plum paper, so that's where I went into next. This was my first time ordering from Plum Paper, and I didn't realize that which sounds obvious now, but I didn't realize that the more add-ons you add into your Passion Planner, the bigger your coil was going to be. And when I got this and I saw how big the coil was, I was a little bit shocked. But this was also the first planner that I got that I was prepping for the year. So I started by putting these quote stickers on each one of the tabs. I'd seen somebody on YouTube do that, and I thought that would be good thing for me. But this is an example, I suppose, of how I was using it. Again, the washi tapes, the happy planner stickers. What I started to do here was use the pen that kind of coordinated with the stickers and the washi. This is a good example of that. This is another example. I'm using here I forget what this is called, what kind of layout this is called, but you can see it on the website. I liked it, but I am not great with habit tracking. So I was getting, I don't know, you can see that they're pretty full. This was the beginning of COVID, which are these numbers here indicate how many days we were in lockdown at that time. So I was kind of getting both frustrated with it and thinking like I wasn't really loving it. And as you can see here, I have a note, a passion planner claim, because I was only 1 year in this plum paper, and I decided that I needed to go back to the passion planner. So some of the things that I really liked about the passion planner were, and this was one for 2020 January to December, but I ordered it because I really liked the cover. And one of the things that I liked about this was because the time blocking. So in the passion planner, or in the plum paper, it didn't have that in that style that I had ordered. So I really liked going back into this. But of course, as COVID came and stayed, there was less need for me to have time blocking. So I thought, well, maybe you should go back to the plum paper. And I remember at this time kind of thinking, oh, maybe just, bite the bullet and go to Erin Condren. But at the time, I could get the plum paper cheaper. And I was thinking that I should probably not spend all my money on planner supplies. Obviously, that's changed. So, and this was still, this is a 21-22 plum paper. This still had that cover on. I'm so glad that they got rid of those, or you're allowed to order them without. Problem with the plum paper that I was having, though, is that this kept happening. So I don't think this is the case anymore, but it had kind of like a film on the inside, and I think it was to help protect it, but they would always go like this. I think each one of my plum that had happened to it. So anyway, again, I did this. I had opted for the kind of neutral at that time. This was the neutral, and added the stickers for the tabs, which I really enjoy. I think that it was nice to set my planners up that way. Really like that. And I went back to this layout with the habit tracker, which I should not have done, because I'm not really good at keeping up with habit trackers. So, and this was partly the reason why I wasn't as happy in this planner. I did not get a lot of add-ons, so you can see that my coil is a bit smaller, which I really enjoyed. And I did use it, but there were a lot of times where I didn't fill this out because I didn't, and spaces where it just wasn't working for me. And again, this was just the beginning of coming back to work after being off for a little while because of COVID. This is also the beginning of, well, COVID was the beginning of when I was tracking my reading in my planner. So I would write down the books that I was reading that month, and then every day I would write down the name of the book and the pages read. That was the kind of, COVID was the beginning of doing that. But this is a good example of what I was doing here, just throwing a whole lot of stickers on the page, writing in blue ink, writing the books that I read down at the bottom, very rarely keeping up with the habit tracker. That's pretty good example. And then I thought, okay, I'm gonna get another Plum paper, but I'm not going to get the same layout because I knew that layout wasn't working for me. So I decided to get I think this is called the Me layout. So basically you can customize these different boxes, and I had my schedule, work, an empty box and an empty box, prep, and then reading. So again, cataloging my reading here, usually would do my schedule up here, what kinds of things I was, at this point I was teaching here, and what kind of prep I would need to do kind of came in these boxes down here. Again, I was using Happy Planner stickers. I'd kind of fully gotten into them at this point. But I really did like this kind of layout where it had, this is very similar to the teacher layout in Erin Condren. So having these kind of boxes, except they would have the subjects at the top. I prefer a vertical plan. So I would just redate that anyway, but these were, I like to be able to separate everything into boxes, which made me ultimately then get the Erin Condren Focus Teacher. I really liked Minimal Neutral Planner. This is a removable cover that I got from them after the fact, but I ended up getting the well, I got two, but that's another story. But it is the teacher Focus Teacher Lesson Planner. I did get I really liked the Harmony Neutral color scheme, and so I did end up getting a horizontal of that, but I didn't really use it. Yeah, that's not going to that. So this one is when I first started really using sticker kits. So prior to this, I wasn't really interested. And then I started, this is a good example. So this is a kit from Let's Plan It. I started it and I was going to back plan this, but I never did. But this is kind of what I ended up doing, was I redated the top. So you can see here that in the Focus Teacher Planner, this is kind of an empty space, and I guess the plan is to put your different class periods in there, and then it goes from Monday to Friday. Well, there's enough to do the week if you want it to be vertical, so that's what I did, and then I just, put that white out tape on there. So this is an example. Just kind of, some weeks are obviously busier than others, but starting to identify the fact that I really enjoy the planner, sticker kits, and I really like this planner. It felt kind of like I belonged in here. I really, as I said, like the way that you could separate things into sections here. The paper is incredible. Anybody who's used Erin Condren knows that. But ultimately I kept seeing a different planner, and yeah, I just had to go. So as you know, now I'm in the I'm in the Hobonichi, and I love it. Similar in terms of, this is an example of coming week, but you can still separate things into sections if you want. I still have my reading on the bottom. I still, at this point, at least, am doing my reading in my monthly with the books and the pages that I read. So a lot of things have still stayed the same. Sticker kits continue. This one's from Player Kate, but it's still there. It gives me enough of an empty space in order to be creative with it, but also I can also just follow a kind of basic outline if I want to. It gives me enough freedom to do whatever I want. And then of course we have the daily pages, which I use for a variety of things, but generally this is for the setup for Sunday and Monday, and I usually have my gratitude to-do list or things I'm doing that day list, and then some sort of reflection or summary of what took place in the day. And if you've seen my video about my new Hobonichi order, you'll know that some things have changed, but I will be using a cousin-esque planner next year. I'll be using the sterling ink version of the cousin just to try that out. I was curious because the sterling ink doesn't have these quotes, and sometimes you don't want those quotes. So that is my planner journey thus far. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens in the new year. Every time I say that I have found planner peace, I end up finding something else that intrigues me.